TikTok and Reddit are to be investigated over the use of children's data. I'm going to read into this piece from the iPaper, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from the iPaper with the headline that TikTok and Reddit are to be investigated over the use of children's data. The UK's information watchdog said it wanted to check the platform was sufficient, robust to prevent children from being exposed to harm. Make sure you hit that like button and share across social media so others are notified of this video, guys. So there's not really a lot of information on this, really. It's the headline, but I wanted to talk a bit about this because while I did talk a little bit about the use of how important it is to tackle pornography, as I did not too while ago. Obviously, this is one that I really want to expand on a bit more on Reddit because as somebody who I use Reddit quite a lot I don't use it for politics. I use it a lot for wrestling content as well as other bits, and it is extremely easy for people to get their hands on plus 18 content, basically. It's really not that hard to get past that. People can easily... It's very easy to create a user, create an account, put in a fake date of birth, access it, and then get into the plus 18s. It's the protection for Reddit for me is far too weak. Needs to be stronger. Now, if they put in their correct date of birth, children's whatever in it, then obviously there's a better chance of them being protected from that kind of content. However, there's no guarantee that they will put their honest date of birth on there anyway. To be fair, so there's no assurances of that either way. As for TikTok, I do think TikTok. There are things that TikTok definitely need to do improvements of. I think TikTok is a lot better when it comes to child protection than it does for Reddit, in my view. But that doesn't mean that their safeguards are perfect in any way, shape, or form. Now, obviously, we're talking about here, in particular, children's data. Them having access to the next generation of children means that they could more easily manipulate them in the future. That's a very scary thing. I don't like that at all. But at the end of the day, excuse me, data is now becoming the gold mine for people. It is what people want, information and data on people, so that they could better go after them with adverts and procurements in order to basically make money off them. And that's where the lines are coming from. Now, whether the UK's information watchdog will be able to make sure there's enough robust on it is another matter. But I definitely think I can definitely vouch that Reddit is not safe enough for children. But I do think TikTok does have some, but more needs to be done on this. That is for sure, guys. So, so TikTok, Reddit, and Imgur, someone have to explain to me what that is, are to be investigated over their use of data from teenage users amid growing concerns over the potential of children to be served harmful content. So the UK's Data Protection Watchdog, the Information Commissioner's Office, the ICO, said he wanted to look into how TikTok uses the personal information of 13 to 17-year-olds to deliver content recommendations to them. The investigations into Reddit and Imgur are focused on how they use the children's personal information and their use of age reassurance means, such as how they estimate or verify a child's age, which can then be used to tailor their experiences on their platform. The regulator said it was taking the actions in light of a growing concerns around how social media platforms were using data generated by children's online activity to power their recommendations algorithm, and the potential for young people to be served inappropriate and harmful content as a result. The ICO has introduced a children's code for online privacy in 2021, which requires firms to take steps to protect children's personal information online. The Information Commissioner, John Edwards, told the PA News Agency the regulator expected to find plenty of positive safety elements in place across the sites during its investigation, but wanted to ensure that the processes were robust. That's why they're collecting, that's how it works, he told the PA. I will be expecting to find that there will be many Beijing, I don't know what's that word mean, and positive uses of children's data in their recommender systems. I would expect to find that there will be elements that are designed to keep children safe and to make sure they only get the appropriate thing, and that's all for the good. Yeah, I hope so. What What I'm concerned about is whether they are sufficiently robust to prevent children from being exposed to harm, either from addictive practices on the device or platform, or from the content in their eyes, or from other unhealthy practices. The ICO said its investigations were to look into whether there had been any infringement or data protection legislation if there's been any evidence of potential breaches is found. The regulator said they were put to the platform and to obtain their representations before reaching final conclusions. As Edwards said, the regulator was not picking on TikTok by making it the subject of investigation on a topic across the social media, and hoped it would understand more about the wider social media landscape through the investigation. We've got to choose one. We can't spread ourselves too thinly, he said. We're not picking on TikTok. We hope to learn lessons from the whole industry that we'll be able to adopt. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, more on this, whether we'll get more on this. I imagine there would be more information as time passes on, but the protection of children, protection of their data, and making sure that they are watching and seeing content that is suitable for them is absolutely paramount. Really trying to bridge the gap of understanding what is and isn't okay, to ensure that the algorithms does not make sure that they are kept within a selective bubble, and that they're not breached into that plus 18 or adult bubble, finding content that would actually be seen to be harmful to them, not just pornography, which is something that I mentioned already on Reddit, but other content, as like I said, harmful content that would not be in the benefit of that child or in the benefit of that platform in either way, shape or form. There is more that needs to be done, but I do think it's important to highlight that we must make sure that children are looked after and safeguards are in place whenever they use any kind of social medias. Because that's the thing, as time goes on, there will always be children looking for new initiative ways to get out of some of the mainstay of social media and try and find new platforms away from the basic standard ones. And then when they happen, it's just making sure that that governments and parents are on top of them, making sure that they're not seeing stuff that they shouldn't be seeing. Well, what do you guys think? What do you guys make of this investigation over TikTok and Reddit to be investigated over their use of children's data? Is it right that they do so? Is more being done? Do you think they're safe? Let me know your thoughts and more down in the comments below. If you found this video informative or helpful to you in any way, hit that like button, share across social media, and subscribe if you haven't to always. Do consider joining the YouTube membership for as little as 99p, and check out the Patreon and Rumble content for additional content on those platforms. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.